What is fast fashion? What do giant fashion corporations like H&M, Gap, Shein, and Zara all have in common? The drastic contributions they make to the fast fashion industry. Fast fashion is the business model of making as many clothes that fit with trends as quickly and cheaply as possible, and then selling the product at an inflated price. Big corporations like those mentioned all contribute to fast fashion because they make their clothes using the above methods and use unsustainable materials and practices to keep up with the rapid trends in the media. Fast fashion has taken the world by storm, partially thanks to social media apps like TikTok and Instagram, which advertise the trends large brands produce. These clothes are usually fashionable, cheap, and trendy, but how do these companies manage to stay on top of it all, both socially and economically? Why does fast fashion exist? Fast fashion is prospering because of how effective it is as a business model. The various brands using this model are able to overprice their poor quality, cheaply made clothing by tapping into fashion trends. This allows them to make more than double the profits as compared to more sustainable business models. Fast fashion tends to play into our rational sides, making us want to buy the clothes to stay up to date with trends, and can have some short-term positive effects on the customer. They are able to buy clothes not only to keep up with trends, but to save money by not buying more high-end quality clothing which would last them longer. It doesn't matter if the clothes aren't good quality, people will only be wearing them as long as the next season lasts. But there are lots of downsides, mostly concerning the environment, unethical production practices, and the consumer's mentality around clothes. Why is fast fashion bad? Fast fashion brands keep up with trends by putting quantity over quality and mass-producing their clothing using cheap materials, which can be toxic or dangerous, low-quality workmanship, and by exploiting child slavery. Many clothes are made of cotton, which is a big concern environmentally because one plant of cotton can require up to 10 gallons of water. To put this into perspective, it takes 2,700 litres of water to make the average cotton t-shirt, which is enough drinking water for one person for 900 days. Also, clothing production has doubled from 100 billion units in 2000 to 200 billion in 2015 due to rapid population growth, which has increased demand, and the length of clothing usage has also declined by 36% since 2000. The percentage of clothing in landfills has also increased to 12% in 2020. When clothes, especially polyester ones, decompose in a landfill, they degrade into microplastics, which can run down into the ocean after a rainstorm or through the soil. The microplastics can also be blown away while being taken to the landfill. This carries both the plastics and other toxic waste into the ocean where it can kill or be eaten by sea life, which are then eaten by us. Landfills themselves are also very bad because they release greenhouse gases as rubbish decomposes, which gets into our atmosphere and starts eating away at the ozone layer, which protects us from the sun's heat and radiation. Also, the plastics inside the landfills will not fully decompose for a very long time, leaving an everlasting effect on our planet. This can lead to global warming and the death of many ecosystems like coral and jungles, which maintain a delicate balance that can be thrown off by a few degrees in the wrong direction. Not only that, but around 260 million children have been enslaved to work for the fast fashion industry, such as working in Benin, collecting cotton seeds, Uzbekistan harvesting cotton plants, and spinning yarn in India, where all of it is put together in Bangladesh. They should not be working at all, but this might be their only way of providing for their families or themselves, even if the wages are poor and working conditions worse. The children may be exposed to dangerous chemicals, fiber, dust, and dyes, all of which can be inhaled and can cause harm. One girl, called Nasreen Shaki, said that she was forced to work in a sweatshop sewing and dyeing clothes at about 9 or 10 years old and was paid $2 a day. She had to wake up sometime at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and work all the way to midnight and still had the pile of clothes would not be finished. We had no days off. Because of the low wages for these children, the clothes are cheap to produce and sell well, which is a big incentive for the producer to make more. All of this being said, what can we do about it? What are some solutions to fast fashion? There is no easy solution that will automatically fix fast fashion. The first thing that comes to mind is to boycott, to put a ban on these companies and stop buying their clothes. If we boycott, then the companies will have to change, as they will not be making any money or sales, right? Well, we could argue it's the way you go about it. No matter what, the children working in bad conditions will continue to work even if the company shuts down. To solve this, we could find charities who help people in need and donate, volunteer, or promote them. An example of one such charity is Solidarity, who teaches those who are working in the industry to grow cotton more sustainably. They also provide physical protection for those working with cotton to keep them away from any harmful chemicals. This way the people in need, the ones working in cotton plantations and other clothing production areas, will get the help that they need and will not be forgotten. If we're going to boycott, we should boycott to make sure their workers are treated humanely. So many people are investing in these brands like H&M and Zara that we would need everyone to boycott, which isn't realistic when there are people who like and rely on these brands. Another option is to support an organisation called Centre for Sustainable Fashion, who are working to find new and better ways to produce clothes. The solution we suggest for individuals to make a difference is to change the way you buy clothes. Start buying less and use what you have for longer. Buy from sustainable brands. Consider what you are throwing away more carefully and try to donate or pass on clothes which are usable. Fashion is some people's hobby, their sense of identity, and we don't have the right to take that away. Fashion is something that you should be able to enjoy, but we must approach it in a way where it's not harmful for those involved. We need to change the culture of fashion by questioning the standards around fashion, such as the culture about how it's bad to rewear outfits, or how it's cheap to wear something for lots of different occasions. If we make it a trend to buy sustainable fashion, and start advertising about how it's good to rewear clothing, to care where your clothes come from and what's going to happen to them afterwards, then eventually the brands will catch on too, if only to stay relevant and continue to profit. Sustainable brands like Anika and Joya that advertise and produce ethical wear will come in fashion. All the fast fashion brands will change their ways to fit the demands to make their products more ethical. The people working for them will have a safer and better working environment and will be earning money from their work, and the children will be able to live a happy life. We'll be able to save the planet before it's too late. Make your own definition of fashion, a definition that will benefit everyone in the end. The kind of fashion where people and the environment will not suffer. We can make this change. We just need you.